Welcome to Watch Symposium. I'm Austin, and I'm here at Marcelo's restaurant looking at Marcelo's watches. We're doing quick as a wink reviews, and right in front of me I've got a Submariner. This is nicknamed the Smurf. This is a precious metal watch. It's a white gold watch, and if you're going to do gold, this is the way to do it. This is stealth wealth. This looks to me and everyone around you like a steel piece, and I love that. You know in your head that this is a $40,000+ watch, but nobody else does, and I think that's so cool. All right, so we've got a blue dial, blue bezel, matte. Now, I have to say the pre-ceramic is my favorite, and that's the way that, you know, that material reflects the light and deals with the light. And look, this is shiny, but at the same time, it's sort of almost like a matte color. But it's a completely different vibe. I mean, this is a fancier piece. It's not going to scratch, but it could crack, it could chip, and it's going to be more expensive to replace. But again, this has a completely different vibe, and perhaps if you're a younger person, this is more age appropriate. And maybe if you're older, the two-tone pre-ceramic bluesy is the way to go. All right, let's check out this rotating bezel. And beautiful sound, sharp clicks, high quality. Now, you'll see there's a little bit of back play there. Now, Marcelo got this in 2017, a couple years old. But the more you check for back play, the more you get it. All right, backplay is one of those things, and Marcelo is laughing off camera because he knows it's true. You've been checking yourself, haven't you?
Not only checking, all the time, until now, I backplaying because I have this, how we say, visual delusion that the bezel never align, and all the time I backplaying to make sure that he align more.
Well, backplay is one of those things. If you search for it, it will come, right? Because as you do this, and you know, I'm turning it backwards, then you'll bend that little tiny spring in there. Now, the spring is about 500 yen. That's about $5, and he'll be able to get a new one when he has it serviced. So it's not a big deal. But you know, if you have a new watch and you want to see if it has any back play, well, that's going to actually give it back play after a couple of years.
I think I want the back plane in one way, even so it doesn't make sense, because I really feel, even till now, that the watch doesn't align. And it sounds actually funny, but all the time it drives me crazy.
Well, it looks like it's aligning now, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to close my eyes. This is my test for doing it. I'm going to go around here, all right, and here we are, and it's a 120 click bezel, and I'm right here at the 5 indice, and I'm just going to count 10. Now, I've got my eyes closed, by the way, all right, and I'm opening them now. And yes, it overshot it. So that's where Marcelo would have pulled it back and probably exaggerated the problem, because again, there's just this little tiny spring in there. Anyway, this is a beautiful watch, and accuracy wise, what does this have, Marcelo?
It's about very accurate. I mean, I wanted to say maybe 1 second a year. Really, I mean,
wow,
it really
that's awesome. You know, and he wears it just like, you know, people wear Casios. Now, take a look at the Rehaut. Now, the Rehaut is a little bit off. It's to the right. Well, the Rehaut is to the right, or another way to say that is the dial is to the left. I don't know. I'll let you debate that. But you can see that crown at the Rehaut is off center. And so, Marcelo, when you have this serviced, I would bring that up and I would have them rectify that.
Please remind me this again. Another thing is that for all the ones that think that the difference between a fake Rolex and a real one is that the real one is super perfect. So this is a very good example to show that even the real ones are not perfect.
Absolutely. And you know, sometimes people will talk about the magnification, 1.5%. And you can't find that on the Rolex website anymore. Magnification of the Cyclops, 1.5% or what is it, 2.5%?
They talk about
Whatever
2.5.
it is, I can't even remember.
Yeah.
Okay, but whatever it is, they don't say it anymore because it's sort of case by case and whatever you get these days, right?
By the way, for the extra comments that somebody might give you that, yeah, this is a fake one, so no, this watch was brought in an authorized dealer in Rolex, so it is real 100%.
Yeah, nobody's going to say that this is fake, and it's not. And
in case Rolex started to sell fake ones.
no, this is clearly a real watch, and a real watch, right? It's a real watch. We know that for sure. Okay, and interesting because the crown is completely upside down, and you know what? I think
the crown all the time changes. Sometimes
oh,
it's upside.
does it?
Yeah,
does it?
sometimes upside. You please open the crown and just play whatever you want to play and pull it back, and you're going to see all the time. Sometimes aligned straight, sometimes.
Oh wow, that's very very smooth. That's amazing. It's such a wind, right there.
But you know, Austin, try to pull it to change the time, and you're going to see you have a little bit.
Oh wow, that's easy. Usually you have to fight with them.
Okay? Yeah, actually you do have. I'm actually surprised you didn't fight
now
with it.
here's the thing. I'm gonna wind it. I'm gonna wind it, and then you see. Look, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Marcelo, that's because you don't know how to do it. All right, watch.
Okay.
Okay. So what you have to do is I'm just winding it. Okay, but you have to do it counterclockwise.
Ah, shit.
That's the way to do it. Now, that one was a
this is
little
amazing.
bit, I got to say, that was a little bit hard. But the first one I did, my God, it just like was so easy. But I don't need to do it that many times, by the way. If you're winding it and you want to hack the crown, you just go back a little bit. All right, just a little bit, and then.
Ah, man.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. All right. So nice. Okay, let's screw the crown back in. Oh wow, yeah, I can feel it's pressed up against the washer or whatever the thing is called, and oh, that's tight. That's tight right there. Oh man, this thing is. Oh, look at that. It's up now.
Yeah, I told you. It's all the time.
Wow. Oh man, I've never seen that. You know, my 5 digits. And my sub as well, even though it's got a triplet crown, it's always the same. Always the same. Yours is either up or down, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's so
and
interesting.
Sometimes sideways as well.
Really? Huh. Wow, guys. I mean, I can't even explain that.
By the way, Austin,
this one right here, I'm just gonna.
By the way, Austin, when I going to this watch, I already own for 4 years.
This one's upside down all the time, upside down. I mean, it came back like this, and you know, it always screws down just like this.
So Austin, when I'm going to send this watch to service, should I mention this to Rolex?
Mention what?
This crown position?
No, because they're not going to do anything. They really. I mean, I mentioned it, and they looked at me like I was crazy. They were like, okay, well, you know, we don't do that. I mean, these are really expensive watches, and maybe they should do that. And I think on some models they actually have it where it perfectly, lines up.
I have a Longines.
Straight.
I have a Longines that costs a fraction of this watch. It actually is like $3,000 watch, and the crown always is up, perfect.
My blue hydronaut, it is absolutely perfect. It's so perfect that it's almost like it can't be by chance. It's almost like it was like designed that way. And maybe that was back in the 2000s, and that's a 2000 watch, and maybe they were really up in their game. But no, I don't think they're going to say anything or do anything. And when I brought it up, that used to be a thing for me because I guess I'm totally insane, that I wanted it to be basically like this, but maybe more perfect. Anyway, and yeah, they kind of could sort of do it with my Submariner. I think they humored me, but after that they were like, fuck off, and they didn't do it after that. And I was under the impression, falsely so, that was the indication of a real Rolex. Like when you wound it, and you screwed down the crown, that it was always like perfectly up. And you know, it should be the case because these are really expensive watches, but that's not the case.
It was some lucky people in the past that got Rolex that the crown was aligned up. And, that was the indications of.
Well, Marcelo, I mean, it was me because when I bought my pre-owned 14060, it was one of the reasons I got it because it was perfectly, you know, it was going up, which is crazy. That's like buying a watch. That's like buying a watch from a shop because they have like the color blue in their logo. I mean, it's like that's what it amounts to. It didn't mean anything. And when I took it to Rolex, I realized, okay, that's not a sign of a real Rolex. And again, they humored me because I was like a first time guy, and they were like, you know, he's got his one, you know, probably they knew it. He's got his one pre-owned watch, and we'll try. And they got it, and it was about like this, you know. And then I rolled in with the Explorer 2, and I said the same thing, and by then they were like, okay, this is number 2 for you, fuck off. And seriously, it came back like upside down. And this one too, the A serial's upside down. After that, they were like, you know, I think they thought I was like this one watch guy, and they wanted to give me like this nice experience, so the watchmaker probably tried a little bit to humor me for this nonsense thing. Anyway, guys, I think we talked a little too much about that. If you're under the impression that this means anything, it doesn't, unless you have OCD like I did. I got over it. You can seek treatment. I wouldn't worry about this when you take it to be serviced, but I would ask about the Rehaut, and I would want that Rehaut lined up. And I would also, you know, stress that you want a very accurate watch, because this is a watch that costs tens of thousands of dollars, and you're going to pay probably $1,000 to have it serviced. And I think they can probably do pretty amazingly with the accuracy.
You know,
let me ask you real quick. Are you going to have it polished when you...
Oh, this is exactly what I wanted to say now. To keep the watch no polished, untouched, as kind of forever, because you know, basically when you polish the watch come in a new position. It look like brand new.
Yeah.
But you're still going to wear it, and you're going to scratch it again, and you're just losing material, and especially with gold, you don't want to, you know, all the time. It's not that like I really care about how much gold you lose, but it's more like you wear the watch anyway, you scratch it anyway, so just leave it the way it is. It's just more authentic.
That's the way I feel. But, you know, people like new things, and you know, they roll up to their party with their model girlfriend, you know, supermodel girlfriend, and they just have, you know, the idea that you would have a scuffed up watch like that. Oh my God. I mean, that's so embarrassing, right?
So next time,
so that's why people
next time that you buy a watch like that, just put it in cellophane and wrap the whole watch and leave it there wrapped.
Exactly. Well, yeah. I mean, so anyway, there you go. I wouldn't polish it at all. I think you know, I think this is awesome. I mean, this is the history of the watch, and even if it's not your history, it's somebody else's history, and I think that's so amazing. And so, you know, that's why I am a big proponent of not polishing watches, and so I don't think you should polish this watch. Look, if you know, you get to be 80 years old, and you know, you're on your deathbed, you know, they give you like another 2 years to live, and you know, then you polish it, and I don't know if you want to, or you don't. I don't know.
You know what I enjoy about this watch, besides being a precious metal, understated because it's white gold, because it's gold, is much more softer, of course, than steel. Mm-hmm. And because of that, it creates this more scratches, also faster than a steel watch.
Yeah, I've never thought about that.
And for that reason, I enjoy this watch more, because they create a faster patina that you can create in a steel watch on time.
Marcelo, why the hell am I not into precious metal white gold watches? Because I'm the same way. I love wear on a watch. And you know, I was coming back from, it was Cambodia the first time I was there, and I sat next to this South African guy. I've seen it, and this South African guy he had a two-tone Datejust on. He was a South African white dude. He was a rice farmer, and I was drunk as a skunk. And I looked at him and I said, "Hey, you got a Rolex?" And he took it off his wrist and just handed it to me without a word. I mean, I was on a plane. It's not like I could have run away, but it was all worn and stretched out, had a Jubilee bracelet on, this Datejust, this two-tone Datejust, and I thought it was so cool. He was so nonchalant about it, handing it to me. And the wear was what was so cool about it. And coming to find out he was a rice farmer and just, wore it, and it was just hanging off his wrist, really loose. And I just thought that was so cool. So
it was wearing in work. It was
exactly. So that's a good point. And hey, guys, wow. I mean, a well-worn watch. I mean, I've always said that I like a well-worn watch. So if I were to get a gold watch, then it would be well-worn after many years. I always talk about the history of my watches and, my Explorer 2 and the marks of history on it that I can identify in parts of my life. And that would increase with a gold watch. So interesting. Wow. Mind blown here at Watch Symposium. Guys, what do you think? Thanks for watching. Take care. See you next time.